Hi there. Welcome to Much Too Silly. I'm Amy. I've been seeing a lot of videos from creators showing their quick 5-minute get ready and get out the door makeup looks. So I thought today we would give it a try because I personally consider myself an expert in this area. For years, I was not interested really at all in makeup and saw it as more of a necessity versus something that I could enjoy. So I am going to be putting on a full face of what I believe are products that are conducive to getting out the door quickly, they apply easily, and best of all, they work well on mature skin. So if that interests you, stick with me and let's get started. Okay, so we'll get started. I already have my skin prep on. I'm just going to throw a little bit of this. This is the Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. This is the I Love Me. Mostly clear. My lips are feeling a little dry. So we're going to start out first with a little bit of color correction. So this is the Erborian CC Red Correct, which I like very much. I do have a little bit of redness, which is more apparent some days than it is on others. So I tend to like to throw this on when I need it, even if I'm using a more full coverage foundation than I'm going to be using today. A little bit on the nose. Okay, so that's good. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of this is the Milani Supercharged. You see that? The Milani Supercharged Brightening Undereye Tint in 110 Pink Rose. I did, for a long time, used a peach color corrector for the dark sort of blue circles under my eyes, and it wasn't really working great. So I sort of assumed that I was always just going to have this issue, and I would never be able to not have a lot of blueness under my eyes. And then I saw someone who made the comment, rather astute comment, that if the peach isn't working for you, maybe what you need is pink. So never one to shy away from purchasing more products. I said, let me give that a shot. So I picked this up, and yeah, I've been pretty pleased with it so far. I don't know how good this is going to do today overall, simply because I'm not going to put on any concealer, which I would normally do. And the skin tint that I'm using is pretty light coverage, but just having a little bit under my eyes should help a bit. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. This is South Korean primer that I believe I got in an Ipsy bag, and I have been liking it. I almost always, no, I don't almost always. I always put eyeshadow primer on because I have 55-year-old skin, and it can be a bit crepey, and my eyeshadow that I put on can definitely crease during the day. So if I do this, then that helps prevent that from happening. I do have the Urban Decay, the one that everybody loves, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's not my favorite. I don't like the way it feels on my skin, and I don't think it does a great job of keeping the creasing away. So it's just not for me. I have this one, and I also have an Ulta Beauty one that I really like, and both of them, yeah, do a great job of keeping my eye makeup in place for the day. So now I'm going in with my tinted moisturizer. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Anti-Aging Perfector. It is moisturizing retinol treatment with SPF 20, and I wear it in fair to light 20. This has been a staple in my collection for probably close to 15 years. Prior to probably about 6 months ago, I had really gotten out of wearing any sort of real makeup. And so for a long time, this was just what I put on my face, even to go to work, to simply even out my skin tone. It does a great job of it. I recently purchased the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer as well. And I did a side-by-side comparison of them on my face, and I feel like they're identical. So while the Laura Mercier is, it's lovely, it's high-end, I like it a lot, and I'm going to use it until it's gone, I honestly feel that this will do the same thing for me, and it doesn't cost $50. So I will stand by this. You can fight me. I hope that you can see on the screen that it has just kind of left me with a little bit of a glow. But more than that, it's just evened out my overall skin tone, which is all I'm looking for on days when I want to do a 5-minute makeup look. And that makes me happy. I will now do a little bit of brows. My brows are not my biggest concern, generally speaking. However, I do notice that when I do them, I like the way it makes me look a little bit better. This is the Morphe. It is called, I didn't write this one down, but it's a very, I can't read it. I will put everything in the description box, but it's a very fine tip. I don't know if that's focused or not, but it's a very fine tip, which is what I like about it. There are definitely opinions about Morphe and some of the ways that they have handled the closing of their stores. I'm going to have to go in and read about what happened myself, because I really am not familiar. But based on what I've heard so far, I would say that I will probably finish up what I've already purchased and then probably not purchase from them again. Because you can't treat your workers that way. Okay, so that's all we're doing for the eyebrows. I will go in with a little bit of the RMS eye lights. This is in the shade Strobe. See that? These are great one and done. I feel they're great one and done, and they work really well on mature skin. As long as you set them, and to be fair, I don't believe worn these without setting them first, without setting my eyelids first. As long as I do that, then I don't have any problems with creasing or anything of that nature. So I've been pretty pleased with these. And I like a one and done eyeshadow is nice. The one thing I will say, and I'm sure other people have noticed this, is that the packaging is not that great. Even if you squeeze a little bit, it kind of all spurts out, which is not ideal. Other than that, and the fact that it dries down really fast, which can make it a little bit of a challenge to blend out. But if you do one eye at a time, it doesn't seem to be too bad. Having hooded eyes it's been a journey for me, honestly. I absolutely love eyeshadow. I have more eyeshadow palettes than any one person should probably own, especially for someone who hasn't been a big makeup person for a long time to begin with. However, having hooded eyes makes it it's a challenge. You have to learn to do things a different way, and I've been really trying to do that. So, and I think I've gotten better. I don't hate my eyes as much as I used to. That doesn't mean that I won't at some point have them done, but for now, I'm learning to live with them and enjoy playing with my makeup palettes. Okay, so coming down to it, I am now going to go in with blush. Now, I'm going to use the Lily by Red Love Beam Cheek Balm. This is in shade 4, which is Shimkam Beam, which means heart flutter energy. So it's that kind of feeling. And it is, in fact, bright red, just like the package. And I love it. I've been in my red blush phase for some reason. Lately, I've got probably 10 or 15 of them in my drawer. That's actually kind of embarrassing. I shouldn't say that out loud. But I am just, ever since I saw that video where Rosemary said that she used to put red blush on all of her Victoria's Secret models, I've been obsessed. It's legitimately a problem. I do have other blushes, but the red ones are the ones that call to me. I'm just going to tap this on a little bit, not too... Oh, I put a little too much on my nose. Let's try to get that off. That's not good. This is just a clean... What is this KVD brush? Okay. The last things I will do are I will put on some mascara. I have not curled my lashes. I'm just going to go in with this is the Essence Lash Without Limits Extreme Lengthening and Volumizing Mascara in the color brown. This is, I would call this a workhorse mascara. I don't think that it's anything that's crazy amazing. However, I've never had it clump or transfer or flake on me. And it's easy to get off. I don't believe it's a tubing mascara. I'm actually not sure I have any tubing mascaras, if I'm going to be honest with you. I've never tried that. Make a note of that for the Sephora sale. But it kind of does just enough to give me a little bit of a lift where I need it. So that's good. And the final thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in with a little bit of a lip color. I'm going to go in with this Dasika Souffle Color Pot. This is in number 22, Cocoa Pink. And I love this. It comes with this little tiny brush, a little tiny lip blurring brush, which is adorable. I'm not going to use that, but I am instead going to use my little, one of these little silicone finger applicators. If you haven't discovered these yet, I highly recommend. It's great to be able to apply anything, honestly, anything in a pot without having it all over your fingers. I have a bunch of them. I leave them all around the house so I can apply any kind of lip balm that I'm using in a pot. And it's great. This formula is really nice. It's matte, which is not something that I typically would use. And in fact, I am going to throw in lip oil on top of it. Some of this Nuni Appleberry Lip, see that? Appleberry Lip Oil. I have a lot of lip oils behind me, over there. A lot of them. In all different price points. And honestly, this is the one I reach for the most. It tastes nice. It's like a little appley berry flavor, as the name would suggest. But it's very nourishing. And it lasts a while. This one has a little bit of a tint to it, but they do have clear ones. But I love this one. It's just enough. If I hadn't put on the lip, if I hadn't put this on, you would just see a very sheer wash of color. And yeah, they're my favorite lip oil. That's it. Let me fix my hair. I'll come back and we will chat. So that's it. Quick and dirty, as they say. I think that, you know, I'm not going to win any beauty awards, but I am definitely Walmart ready, I'd say. Zoom ready, if you will. I will list out everything that I used or talked about in the description below. So if you have any questions, then you can see what I used. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.